Perkele. Was it a good intro?
No. Why would you start with that?
I don't know. I mean, you said have a good intro, so I mean.
Okay, yeah, it's usually funny to put this stuff in like generic bullshit in front of the intro.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I could do the dork intro like, "What's up, fellow Soekweekers? Mega Pincer right here, and we're back with the Pallet Town League Power Rankings for Week 3 with my buddies Stipe, aka Perkele the Thunder God, and Shawnee Boy, aka Little T, aka No Skill."
Oof.
Yeah. So we have played 3 weeks of fella. Fucking fella. PTL almost because
Rip fella.
I said fella, but I meant PTL. But like yeah, we have one battle yet to play for week 3, but we kind of figured that um, most likely that game is not going to affect the order. So I don't know. Maybe this will trigger Anthony to play absolutely terrific Pokemon against his game. We in his game against Marcelo. Um, we will see. Um,
Well, Marcelo
so
can have his ups and downs, so
yeah, so let's just start with the 10th rank from each one of us. So Sean, who did? Oh, actually Sean was kinda still confused about the format. So maybe we start with Tom's pick. Who is your 10th?
well, my 10th pick is, with all due respect, is Anthony. I think he's kind of new to the draft league for.
Yeah, he's new to draft league format. He's my number 10 too. Sean, is he your
Yeah.
number 10 too?
Yeah, he's my number 10. But I mean, just looking at his games, like granted, to lose 5-0 to SFJ and also Patrick in your first 2 games is nothing to kind of grunt at. So I'm sure he'll come good. But yeah, he's my 10th pick, with all due respect, as Tom said. So
Yeah, I mean at the moment he's I would say he's the low ladder player of us, and I think that low ladder is threatening too in its own way. So
yeah. I mean, I go up against him in week 5, and I think we're actually playing today. After Marcelo and him have battled, hopefully he arrives. So if he beats me, then I'll completely readjust my rankings and yeah, go from there. But yeah.
Yeah, it's what you say. You get like 2 of the better players first, your 2 first games, and then yeah, it just can be quite demoralizing. But I think in the end of the season he will play. Yeah, the more yeah, he has more chance, I think, in the later parts of the league, and maybe he can go for a surprise or something.
yeah, and he can always improve also. So it's just if he has time to and motivation to try and do that, obviously. So let's move on to the 9th picks. Who is your 9th pick, Tom?
My 9th pick is Justin. Yeah. Well, Justin, like we said in the first recap after the draft or first power rankings, his team is kind of underwhelming. But he drafted some mons he would like to try, and so far it's not really working out for him. He kind of has to get used to his team, I think, and I get the feel that his team lacks a little bit of power. Nevertheless, he had some tough battles in the first weeks. The first week he went against SFJ. He lost 3-0, so it's not too bad. And then the week after that he went against Sean, which was a tough battle. And week 3 he battled me, and he also lost 3-0. I think there's still a chance for him to get back, but he really needs to bring his A game and get comfortable with the mons he has, because he has by far most inferior team. But I have to say, I really, I think it's brave of him to pick the mons he wants to use and learn a bit more, and that's the only way to really get to know all the sets and to try the Pokemon in a league format. So I applaud that, and I really think it's brave.
Okay, so my my rank for Justin is actually 8th because Justin actually I think he has a fairly solid team building overall, and he's had very hard matchups so far. Mainly against Tom, he got completely out prepped, I think, and also maybe if we did these power rankings each week, I might have just dropped Justin one spot by the performance of the third week. But I think like especially the second week against Sean, he played pretty well, and he's been like against Tom too. He had bunch of win cons. He just didn't really use them in the optimal situations, basically. But personally, I've been actually a little bit surprised positively by his performance so far.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. It's just that the pieces are there for the puzzle, and he just needs to put them together during the match to make it work. I think against Sean, the pieces were coming together well. And against me, like you said, I think I out-prepped him. So you're always one step ahead, and it's just it's his goal to try to get on the same level as. I'm not trying to brag or something, but just to step up his mind game and think ahead in the game. But I agree, he shown a lot of potential, and I think if he continues to play like this, he will surely get higher up on the power rankings. But for now, I have him 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. So Justin, I put 8th. He hasn't really. I know Justin's probably got a lot of work to put into his game as well, and kind of looking at his games. I mean, he started off against SFJ, which naturally isn't a tough game, and then he went up against me. So obviously that wasn't an easy game for him either. And Tom, I mean, he should have beat Tom really. Tom's a bit of an easy player, but unfortunately he didn't. So yeah, unfortunately, Justin, you're going into 8th.
Yeah.
And that's my rank for Justin.
Okay, so Tom, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let's. I think we move to the 9th picks of me and Sean. So my 9th pick was Frankie. Was it yours too, Sean?
Yeah, Frankie was mine as well.
Yeah. So my reasoning for having Frankie at 9th is basically, well, to me he's been kind of a disappointment because in Fella he actually, I think he had a very like fun teams that did quite solid work most of the time. This season he hasn't been able to utilize his offensive power at all. He hasn't been able to break through teams, and overall I think his building has been pretty weak.
Yeah.
If I say so, like even like the second weakest from the like overall, and for example, like let's say against Patrick, he had no hunch cross switching, so his team has lacked certain elements that he would have needed to beat certain things from certain teams, and against Patrick he still improved because he was pretty close to actually win with that Didance Tyrantrum, but initially the problem was still the same. He was not able to break through Patrick's walls, which were Mega Sableye and Jirachi.
Yeah. I agree with all said. That being said, I have Frankie at 8 because I do think that he can grab a hold of himself and deliver the same as in Vela. So I ranked him one place higher than Justin, just because I have a little bit more faith in Frankie than in Justin to make a comeback. That's based also on the teams they drafted, but because I do think that Frankie has some great tools to make a great team, but he just hasn't found that extra, that little bit of oomph yet in his team building that he did had in Vela. So I know it's in him. I placed him at 8 to kind of encourage him to really go in depth with his team building, because I know he can do it. He showed it, and I think he can make the playoffs. So he just needs to get needs to get good really. That's my advice for him. Yeah.
That's the thing about this league at the moment as well. It is because we're only 3 weeks in with 10 teams. It is realistically everyone can still make even first place. So it is kind of coming in close. And I mean, for the first 3 weeks, granted, you are getting used to a brand new team. And some people in the league, i.e. me, and I know some others haven't drafted in this style before. We're used to having 3 really good Pokemon usually, and then the rest of them are kind of very much lower tier. And now we're stuck with, it's probably bad to say, but quite a lot of good Pokemon. So you're left with a lot of options. So I'm sure people will kind of pick up. And kind of for Frankie as well, I guess. See if you can, for perhaps one of the weeks, see how you get on with asking someone's input for your team building. It's always good, even if you built a team, just get someone to have a look over it. Just not Tom.
Why not?
Why Tom? Because you pick dank sets, and that's not fair on everyone else.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a very good advice, I think.
And SFJ will then not like Frankie either, so.
Yeah, SFJ kind of hates me. But yeah, SFJ is just like a grandpa if it comes to competitive battling, but not a grandpa because he's slow, but he's so conservative, and if something changes from the standard, he gets all triggered. But we'll come to him later, I think, at least on my list.
Yeah. So I think it's the 7th spot. Then who's your 7th pick, Tom? Or 7th ranked player?
This was actually a really close one, but I ended up going for Marcelo at the number 7 spot. Why Marcelo on the number 7 spot? It's just that for me the number 7 until the number 4 were really close, and it was really tight between Marcelo and Sean for the 7th place. I have Marcelo at 7 ultimately because they still need to play against each other. They both have had already some tough matches, and they also have got some tough matches still to come. So they're about even, I think, in overall level of skill that they still have to face and still have to face and have faced. And I think ultimately their own battle, like the battle between Sean and Marcelo, is going to decide who will be the better one and who will be higher up on the list. I do think that Sean has a bit more edge over Marcelo, since I think he has the better matchup for the teams. At least that's my opinion. I think they're both equally skilled.
Excuse me.
I think Marcelo and Sean are both equally skilled. Yeah, that's cute. Oh, yeah, I insulted you. No, but really, that's it.
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah, Marcelo is my 7, like my rank number 7 too. He so far hasn't been able to win any tougher opponents. Like he beat Frankie, but he had he was so he out prepped so completely that He didn't really need to even play that well against. Was it against you, Tom, that he played?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good game by him at some points, but he didn't manage to win in the end. He probably is going to win against Anthony, but that really just simply doesn't uh, bring him any more up in the rankings. And overall, I would say that Marcelo's playing has been quite inconsistent. He's been doing some great plays, but especially against some rather big jokes too, like the infamous Florgas play.
I mean that's what happens when you go up against players with like this the yeah. Like I have the name to be great, and you just get scared of me just because of playing against me. Like I force misplays. That's my strength.
I mean, that's fun that you say that because I just played against Jim back high in the ladder, and that's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I had lost that match at that point anyway. But let's not talk about that, Sean. Who is what is your rank for Marcelo?
Marcelo. So I shouldn't mention my 7th pick.
Say first. What's your rank for Marcelo?
To be brutally honest, I think he's played a lot better than he has in Feller, a previous league that we was part of. And yeah, I mean, it's just that I guess thinking a little bit more about sometimes it feels a little bit ironic coming from my side as well because I'm lower than him at the moment in the league, but kind of from an outside perspective, Marcelo, I mean, thinking a little bit more about the plays I am going to reference the Florges play because everyone knows the Florges play now. Just thinking a little bit more about the play, why you're doing it, and how it's going to affect your win condition is ultimately going to help you, in my opinion. But look, you lost to Tom, you beat Frankie, and now you got Anthony, which is the final game in week 3. So I think personally, if you come out 2-1 from those games, then I think you've done really well for the first 3 weeks.
Absolutely agree.
So
yeah, and kind of on that, I guess jumping into
I'm speaking like I'm God himself, but whatever.
So kind of I guess it leads on to my 6th place, which was Marcelo. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so I put myself at number 7, purely for the fact, I mean, for the first 3 matches, I don't think I've particularly played well, but kind of when I kind of got to the end of the battle and kind of look back on each of them, it's almost like I've gone. It's come more down to prep. So like I gave that feedback to Frankie as well. I feel like I mean I didn't really have people looking over my team as such, and that's something which I've personally I guess found value in other leagues, just getting someone else's eye over it. But yeah, some 3 close games, and my win was a 0-0 win, which is purely why I've put myself in that position. But yeah, kind of not doubting myself a little bit. I guess I had some tough matches as such. I mean, Max and Tom, to lose to those is not exactly a something to look down at myself on. Tom's a great battler, as much as he'd love me saying that, and he'll remember that for weeks to come. And Max and I have a little bit. I guess we're a little bit of we have a little bit of grudge matches. So I played him once before, and I beat him. I think I 5-0'd him. So he had some revenge to get back on me. But yeah, I put myself in 7 for those reasons, and hopefully I can pick it up and make a few changes and see what goes on.
Yeah, I mean the losses that you had were all small losses. I mean to lose 1-0 to me, and I think it was 2-0 to Max. Even due to Hex, because if he didn't get Parrot on the low pony, I think it would have been a 1-0 loss, I think. Maybe even a win, depended on if Blastoise could take a high jump kick. But I mean, you know what you're doing, obviously, and just what you said. I think getting someone's eye over your team you built really helps. It really helped me. It still asks type sometimes too. Ask like what do you think of this set? And then he says like, well, I wouldn't do that. Do you have this? Do you have that? And it really helps. You learn a lot from it. So I would advise you to just continue to ask, and you just learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
So
And just to kind of say as well, I mean, I play Anthony. Hopefully tonight, if he comes online, we can only pray in that aspect. But I've actually took a really different approach to how I've built my team this time, and you'll kind of see there's that. But yeah, I've took a completely different approach, and I hope you enjoy watching it, so to speak.
Gonna be dank?
Potentially. It's just I haven't just gone standard sets this time. I've actually mixed it up a little bit. And tried a little bit at a time.
Are we going to see special Talonflame? Extreme speed Suicune.
Oh, it's worse than that. I'm expecting things like special Charizard, so special Charizard X. So realistically, I mean, if my stuff works, then so be it. But I've kind of shared my views and also gone into my week 6, so you guys can talk now.
So Tom, how did you rank Sean?
I think I already gave it.
Okay, what was
To
your
be
rank?
honest.
What was your rank?
6 for Sean.
Okay, so my rank for Sean was also 6. So I mean, Sean has had a tough schedule, I guess. Like he's your building and your playing has been fairly consistent. And you know, if you asked SFJ, you even like lost one match to a bad set by Tom. But then again, Tom knew his wing on, so it's like
I enjoyed it, Tom. I like this set, just to let you know.
Wait, let me get this clear. Let me get this clear. I basically predicted the course of the game because I knew I would be in with a Venusaur at the end of the game on a Talonflame, and I brought a Cobra Berry.
Yeah,
I think I deserve more credit for that set than everybody laughs at it.
I agree.
Think about it in the...
Okay, let me rephrase this.
Okay.
Sean got a loss to an arguably bad set by opponent. So, but yeah, that's enough of that. But overall, I really think that
I can live with that.
like Sean,
all, I can't believe, Tom, you were the only guy that can bring a Venusaur to a match and beat out a Talonflame with it and get hate for it. You are the only guy.
Yeah, I know. It gets fueled by SFJ, and everybody follows SFJ because, I don't know.
But I mean,
I keep doing what I'm doing, so I'll never stop.
Overall, Sean's team has underperformed. However, I think because it's such a great team that it should be better than 1, 2 at the moment. I feel. So,
agreed.
Yeah. But I want to say that going for Mega Ampharos was good because you lacked that Dragon type. You lacked check for bulky waters.
Yeah.
Or even counters. So. Yeah.
I agree. Giving Mega Scizor a go was nice, but unfortunately to kind of fill in the gap on my team, Mega Ampharos had to be and it was my idea from the start as well, Mega Ampharos, but then I saw Mega Scizor and thought I got to give it a go. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to use that, and you may see it soon.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move to number 5. Tom, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Patrick, and that's because.
Oh wait.
What? Are you fucking up against type?
Yeah, I am. Okay, just move on.
You forgot to record.
No, I just forgot to.
You're gonna have so much fun editing this.
I forgot to change the slide.
Oh, whatever. You can do it afterwards. You're a master. Master editor.
Whatever, yeah. Just go on your
number 5. I had Patrick. Mostly because Patrick is a good battler. He's also a good prepper. I know SFJ sometimes helps, but I think Yeah, he's a good battler, but what I really think is once Patrick gets behind, he starts playing on tilt, and he has not been really on. Yeah, he has not really been behind, but yeah, it's difficult to say. Yeah, I don't know really. I think Patrick is. Yeah, it's just also the saltiness after the match, like after the crit outrage. Yeah, he's just so salty.
It happens, Patrick.
It happens.
We've all done through it.
Like, like I had a hard time ranking him max. Like in the end, I ranked max 4 and Patrick 5th. I think just because of that. Yeah, Patrick should be. I think he should have more faith in himself when he's behind. I've noticed in Vela as well. As long as he's offensive, he's like he's 2 pokes up, 3 pokes up. He's winning. He plays very well. He makes good plays. Sometimes some good predictions. But I notice when he gets behind, he starts playing on tilt. Then when something goes wrong, he basically just loses the match. Whereas if he just thinks for a moment, do not play on tilt, just accept the fact you got critted, and then think out the new game plan. I think that would really help him as a battler. Just to not click buttons after you get critted and not spam chat with, oh my god, that crit mattered, I'm so salty, all that kind of stuff, and just play on and just, yeah. I think that's my tip for him. And he will definitely make the playoffs. That's my prediction for him. And Patrick, I love you, so don't hate me, please.
And he has built a really, really good team as well. I think it works.
Yeah.
I ranked Patrick 3rd, but I just want to say that my ranks 5th to 3rd. Like, they are so close to each other. It was very, very hard to decide the order. But the reason I have Patrick 3rd is that it's very hard for me to basically point a real misplay he's made. Like, he lost 1 game to a hacks, and even in that game he had managed to get himself into a position where he most likely would have won that game, but then he got critted, which happens. But it's very hard to blame Patrick for the play or say that was a bad play, because that's a crit. And
yeah, I never said it was a bad play, but
yeah, while he hasn't had real tester. I think he has faced Anthony and Frankie both. Game against Maxi was good. He lost to a crit, so it's just very hard for me to criticize Patrick for anything. So that's why I have him 3rd.
fair enough.
Sean, how did you rank Patrick?
I put Patrick in 4th. So I think this is the only one where we've all got him in different places.
Yeah,
that is so for him.
Which says quite a lot, really. I mean, I haven't really got many views on it. I mean, just kind of looking at his league position mainly. I guess when I'm doing these rankings, because a lot of you guys come from a previous league that I was in, and seeing the difference in how Patrick plays compared to how he played then, I mean, it's remarkable, actually, to be honest. And granted, I mean, who have your matchups been? You've been up against Max and Frankie. So I mean, considering two of the players you played have been in the lowest area of the standings, I can't wait to see how you're going to get on kind of towards the back end of the season when you really start playing good players. But not really start playing good players. I mean, the better, the higher tiered battlers, I guess.
Safe, Sean, nice save.
Huh?
Said nice save.
Yeah, I'm used to saving myself in this league, believe me. But yeah, Patrick, I think you've played really well. And like they've all said, the crit, yes, it mattered. I understand your saltiness. I'll be exactly the same. And in that situation, there was probably nothing you could have done. So the saltiness was fine, but kind of in past instances when you have been critted and you have had a chance to turn it round, but you've just kind of played on tilt. That's kind of what we're referencing to. But unlucky with that crit, Gengar would have cleaned up after that. So so it's unfortunate, and you would have probably been second in the league above Tom, which I hope you were. But yeah.
Yeah, so I think we move to my pick number 5, which is Max. So, like, like I was considering having Patrick third. I was also, I mean, fifth. I was considering having Max third because, like, he's been also building and playing very, very well, and he also has had a pretty tough schedule, and he was very close to beating me as well. Um, but I mean, I don't know. It was just very hard to choose like the order for picks 5 and 5 to 3. So it doesn't really make justice to the way Max has been playing to have him fifth. But at the same time, I guess it just shows that we actually have pretty solid level of play in this league, which is pretty nice as well. And like it's when you look at Max's like previous records from leagues in Fella, after 5 weeks he was undefeated, and Sean, was he even in DPC? He had a pretty good record there too, if I'm correct.
In the recent league?
The first one where we were in.
Well, it kind of fizzled out. Yeah, I think he won. I think he was also undefeated in that league as well. Unless he played you, I can't.
No, he didn't play me either. Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't play him, did you? So I'd imagine he was undefeated compared to seeing everyone else.
Well, I think I beat him.
In Fella? No, you didn't.
No.
Play him in Fella.
No, you didn't get around to it. So I don't think you played, Matt. That's all.
Yeah. Great potential.
Okay, so Sean,
potential is really good.
Yeah. Sean, how did you rank Max and why?
I put Max in 5th. Firstly, I mean Max, I don't know him all that well, but we kind of, when we have spoke, well, I mean I helped him set up the other league, the DDL or whatever it was, which unfortunately did fizzle out again. But I know over these past few weeks, his schedule, not only battle-wise but also personally, has been very much up in the air. He's started a new school or sixth form or something like that, and he's had loads of other things going on. So, considering he's got all this going on in his head, and he's performing so well here, usually I'd say that would be a complete opposite. But he's played really well in my opinion, and I mean, even against me. Because I've got first-hand experience of battling him, and so did you, Steve. But I looked at the matchup, and I looked at kind of 2 or 3 Pokemon on my team that just wrecked him, and he prepped so well for them. Talonflame and Megalophony as well. So I think fifth maybe a little bit harsh, but it was like you all say, it was very hard to do the power rankings like 5 to 3. So he's 5th for me.
Okay, so Tom, what was your rank for Max?
My rank was 4th, and that's purely because of the fact that, like you all stated, Max is a great battler, and he just has his shit together in battles. He preps well, he makes good plays, and I think in the end, the 4-0 win against Patrick is really gonna matter in the standings. So I put him over Patrick because of that. That was maybe an unfortunate loss for Patrick. But I think that match, that 4-0 is really gonna put Max like over higher on the rankings than Patrick. I think they're Jesus. I think they have the same skill level. I think, but just I'm gonna repeat myself again and again. Just that 4-0 win for Max is gonna be crucial in the end, and Max will finish above Patrick. So, well done, Max.
Yeah, so I think next week go to my number 4. I think because Tom had Max at number 4.
Yeah.
So my number 4 was actually myself. It was like I've said this many times, but these 3 ranks from 5th to 3rd was just so hard to put in order. But I feel Patrick just has been doing less mistakes than I have, and I beat Max, so in that sense it makes sense to have myself in between. I almost lost to Max. We kinda exchanged misplays there, so that I actually ended up winning in the end. I've made Spexplicity do work, which is kinda worth mentioning, I guess. And I just been being me, playing well, but my team just isn't. I mean, it's been doing pretty well, but like I guess as a J, I kinda misprepped, which cost me. So yeah.
Yeah, but even though on that side with your game against SFJ, even though you personally feel like you misprepped, you still took him to, how was it, like 60 odd moves or something? It was an insane battle watching. I've never watched you both battle before in league format, so it was intense from my perspective. Naturally, I think the better person won in that situation. But look, although I don't think the scoreline reflects as good as you played in that. And to look at your other 2 results, to bring Spexplicity to a match is ballsy. And you, especially week 1 as well, that was respectable. And against Max, nonetheless, who we've all credited really well. And then you 4-0'd Frankie, which I probably expected, to be honest. So, yeah, from my perspective, Steve, I'll put you in 3rd.
I mean, I obviously approve of Spexplicity.
Dankness.
Yeah, dankness. Actually, put you higher than 3rd, Steve. I put you 2nd, but we'll come there in a bit.
Yeah.
Or do I need to comment now on you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I placed you 2nd, and just that's because I just don't know what you're gonna put out of the high hat, out of your trick sleeve. I'm very scared to play you. I know I have the better, bulkier team, and I know you know that, so you're gonna do everything you can to outprep me and bring some weird but viable sets, and in the end I think you're gonna win against me, to be honest. So that's why I put you 2nd. I have myself 3rd, because in the end I think what's gonna happen is that I lose the match against Stipe and against SFJ, and I'm pretty sure I will win all of the rest. I maybe have one week I'll be playing, like I'll be lacking a bit of skill, so I may lose one match outside of the matches against Stipe and SFJ, but eventually I think I'll come in 3rd. Stipe will win all of his games except against SFJ. So he come in 2nd, and I think SFJ is gonna win every battle. So I placed him at 1, but now I'm gonna go far too fast. But yeah, just my my thoughts. And I've played Stipe like only once. Yeah, but the funny part is, like, I think we both know each other very well in terms of team building. We both know what we are capable of, and the only match that we played was the Fella final of season 3, I think, and it was a great match. Yeah, I still sometimes watch it and cry because of the misplay at the end, but yeah, yeah, I think it's gonna be a great battle, but I think Stipe is gonna find somehow to win against me. So that's my thoughts on that. Yeah.
I could probably, from my perspective, I mean, probably the top 2 I can predict in this league, SFJ and Stipe. I think that's just, I think everyone just expects that from now. But
Yeah.
from third down, I think that's where the interesting aspect comes. And then when it kind of comes to playoffs and finals, it's then a case of, right, how do I take down the SFJ and Stipe? How can I actually beat them?
So Dom, did you like talk about yourself already? Do you want to add about your own performance?
About myself, yeah.
So where you did rank yourself third, right?
Yeah, I didn't rank myself third because I think, yeah, I play mediocre. Yeah, not really mediocre. I'm not playing great. I'm prepping well. I think that saves me. But yeah, I'm losing. Or I'm winning games 1-0. Then again a 1-0 against Marcelo, 1-0 against Sean, 3-0 against Justin. But I made some misplays, and that cost me like 4 differential already. And that's just the tiny mistakes that I make against those players. And with all respect, but against those players, it's not punished if I make those silly mistakes. But if I go against Type or an SFJ, like if I misplay against Type or SFJ, it will be punished immediately. So I cannot afford to lose focus, and I just need to regain a lot more focus. Like week 5 and 6, I placed first SFJ and then I placed Type. So those will be really important matches for me, and I hope I got my focus back. But lately, I've not been playing bad, but I've not been playing great either. And I think my prepping saved me because I could have easily lost the games against Sean and against Marcelo. So yeah, that's my thought, and because of that, I think I'm gonna finish third. So yeah.
Okay, so I have you second, and I only have one note on you here. So you've been winning games that you seemingly do not dominate at any point, really. Like
Yeah.
that's in general that's something you do a lot, and like especially Fella season 2 and the early season especially. You just managed to grab those wins even though you made a lot of misplays and were very nervous, and but you just in the end happened to be able to get the wins. Obviously against Justin you dominated, you completely out prepped and deserved to win that. But yeah, definitely the battles against me and Jay will be very interesting. You still have a very very solid team.
Yeah, no, but just you mentioned the nervousness, like yeah, sometimes I can just get nervous. I don't know why. I make bad plays because of it, but I generally think once I've made a bad play, I can generally recover well and win games out of nowhere, like you said. Like, yeah, I've won some games that I think like, how did I pull it off? Yeah, especially many thanks to Marcelo, who had all the initiative until he switched in the Florgus. So thanks, Marcelo. I mean, we always come back to the play. I mean, it was just really bad, and he should be ashamed of it. But yeah.
It should be the thumbnail for this video, really, and
it should be
PTL.
Okay. It should be, yeah.
So, Sean, what do you have to say about Tom? What was your rank for him?
Tom, I put you in second, buddy. Although I feel like you have your toughest matches coming up from now onwards. I mean, realistically, you've got SFJ and Stoib still to play as of so have I. So that's when the real test is going to come in. Not saying that you've played particularly bad battlers. You played me, which I'm bad, so that counts as one already. But I think I have. Although you've drafted a disgusting team, in my opinion, I still feel like you've tried to be creative with it. Although many of them can be very one-dimensional. So yeah. that's kind of my views on it. But Tom, I'll put you in second, and let's see if
Appreciate
you
it.
can continue that.
Yeah, it's just that I have a lot of. It's like stall basically, and I don't have a lot of experience with playing stall, so I'm surely getting there. So yeah, I'll be all right.
Yeah. So I think we only have one rank left, which is the first, and we have only one
Yeah,
player left, who is SFJ.
Pookie himself.
Tom, why did you rank Pookie first?
Uh, yeah, it's kind of there's always been like an eternal war between you, like Stipe and SFJ, like who's the best. I think you're both in records now, 2-2. I think Stipe has won 2 times and SFJ have won 2 times.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, for the first and the second spot, it really came down to your guys' personal battle. And because SFJ pulled through in that battle, like he really, yeah, he played well and he prepped really well. And I think he also deserved that win, although not really a 4-0, but yeah, it was kind of fortunate. But I think SFJ deserves that win, and because of that win, he's also, I think, gonna be the number one. And yeah, basically SFJ is giving me shit for trying to be dank. And I have to say, SFJ is a really good player, but he's also kind of a conservative player. I've never seen him bring something really out of the ordinary, and I think that can be a weakness. Yeah, I basically challenge you, SFJ, bring something against me that's out of the ordinary. Just try it one time. No, but on all seriousness, SFJ is a great battler, and although he's conservative with his sets, he makes amazing plays. You barely see him make any misplay. I mean, I've never seen him misplay once. Yeah, he's just a great battler, and his tactical view on the game is, I think, a step ahead of all of us. He has the knowledge. He thinks of everything. Yeah, I think he's just the definition of a complete battler. I think Stipe as well. Yeah, SFJ has like that conservative vibe to him, whereas Stipe has like that experimental one. So yeah, I really hope that Stipe and SFJ, if I don't make it, I really hope Stipe and SFJ are gonna meet again in the final and deliver another great match. So yeah, that's what I have to say about it. And Sean, what do you think of SFJ?
Um, I mean, he's a guy that you can learn a lot from. If you're kind of new to the, i.e., I guess I'm going to aim this towards Anthony as well. If you do watch these videos, I very much doubt it, but maybe one day you will. SFJ, because he brings such the kind of the typical stuff that you would see, but puts it in real good effect. That's how you kind of learn. So yeah, but kind of from SFJ's perspective, I know like it's always commented on SFJ and Stipe since the league started how kind of closely competitive you are, but it shows how well he's performing with the team that he's got when he 4-0s the guy who we all think is the Arceus of our league. So I mean, I haven't really. There's not much more you can say apart from he's obviously an batter. And yeah, kind of looking at, I mean, he's played, he 3-0'd Justin, he 5-0'd Anthony. So, I mean, those two games, they're not the top tier players, but going into week 3, he kind of proved himself to 4-0 Stipe. And really, I think moving forward, he'll be one to beat. So I don't think SFJ should in one way rest on his laurels. I really think people will be coming for you to beat the top ranked guy. So just watch out. You may one week get a shock. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really have much to add. Like, SFJ has been as solid as he usually is, and like the battle against me, it really came down to me having not the coverage for Ferrothorn on my Whimsicott, and that kills the momentum every time for me. However, I lost our battle, so on the other hand, that means that when if we face another time, I have the advantage. So yeah, it will be very interesting game if we face again. And but yeah, other than facing me, SFJ has actually had a pretty easy schedule. So he has a lot of tough opponents still left. I'm actually like SFJ versus Patrick, SFJ versus Max. Those will be very, very interesting games, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just, I really love week 5 and 6. There's going to be so many great games. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, what it will bring.
Yeah.
Because I basically think week 5 and 6 will be the deciders in a lot of cases of where people will end up in the final standings. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Should we do the same thing that we did last time we did power rankings and kinda speculate about next week's games?
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, so I don't have the schedule open, so good someone.
Well, it's Marcelo versus Patrick.
Week 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a tough one to commentate on.
yeah, I mean, obviously Patrick has been like the rank tells also. Patrick has been more consistent of a player so far. Let me just open the PTL page so I can check teams. Well, what do you think?
I think Patrick will come out in top on that one, and that's partly me saying that I hope he does, because then it makes my time easier going into the following week's games, because I feel like Marcelo, you worry me at the moment. I'm feeling like you're going to push me out the playoffs. So we got a little bit of a grudge going on. So come on, Patrick.
Okay, so here I have the matchup showing. So I don't know. I guess Weaver could do quite a lot of work. Superior, perhaps. But
I think it's it's quite an even matchup actually.
Yeah, like Patrick has sand offense, which does very well against Marcelo, but Marcelo has a lot of bulk at the same time.
True. Yeah, I think he does have answers for. I think Marcelo, considering how he's been playing as well, can kind of work around that. I mean, he's got quite a well worked out team. So he's got ground types, he's got levitators, he can stick air balloons on things to work his way around that extra drill. There's a lot of things he can do there. But yeah, I think Weavall pretty much has to come to this match. There's no reason why I can't see him coming.
Yeah.
What else can we see?
I feel that maybe Marcelo's disadvantage is that B-Drill is pretty useless in this matchup. Maybe Umbreon to some extent.
Umbreon might be a little bit too passive for this style of play.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, it kinda is just guys to Heracross. It's kind of a setup for well, not really for Excadrill because it could have foul play.
Yeah.
But for Sylveon, so.
I mean, are we just going to talk about the week 4 matches here? Or?
Yeah, only week 4, I think. But let's move on. What's the next battle?
So we got you versus Justin.
Okay, so
let's have a look at your matchup. So, and Justin is over there. So, again, Manaphy can pretty much wreck things.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess DD Gyarados has a decent matchup, but at the same time, it's gotta lose to Scolipede.
Yeah,
Fairy is
learning from
always
that.
a problem to Justin's team. I don't know. It's like yeah, DNC has actually a pretty good matchup, so
Mm,
this would be interesting.
definitely. If I've got much to add, I think your Whimsicott does kind of nice in this matchup as well. I don't see much that he can really do. I mean, he obviously got an Infernape, but there isn't much else which I see which can specifically work around its speed and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what have we next?
Then we got no. We got so Frankie versus SFJ.
Yeah.
Obviously they've already played, so SFJ came out while he continued his winning form and 3-0'd Frankie in what was expected. And personally, I mean, I haven't actually got around to watching the battle yet, so I can't really commentate on it. But his oh no, I did watch it. He struggled to work around his Mandibuzz, defensive Mandibuzz kind of walled pretty much everything on his team. And then Crawdon as well, putting a lot of work for him. I think it was Specs Jolteon. Everything on his team, bar the Claydol, I think actually had some effect, some serious effect on the game. So yeah, that defensive Garchomp was pretty clutch as well. Yeah, it just proves his skill in terms of team prep and also battling. He really did make it work. So
Yeah. Okay, so next one.
next up we got which personally I think is actually going to be match of the week, which is Max versus Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's a team of bulk versus team of wall breakers. Actually,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
very
So
interesting team or team matchup. Um,
let's have a look. I mean, you can, because of Tom's I guess style of play being out of the ordinary. Sometimes I think he'll come up with something to shock Max, and that's what's kind of good about Tom. And Max will have to kind of look out for that and really think in the battle, what could that potentially be? But yeah, it'd be a really kind of interesting match to watch.
yeah, I feel that when Max has been playing so consistently, and his team doesn't really mind Tom's bulk as much as some other teams, so I feel that Max has the upper hand
Yeah,
going into this match. But it will definitely be very interesting to see.
definitely. Can't really see what I think's going to come, but I'm sure he'll decide. But yeah, that should be hopefully one of the matches of the week. And I guess to put my kind of bet on it, I'm going to go with Tom to come out on top, just based on how he's been playing. But this is his first real test, I guess,
Yeah.
in terms of playing against a higher tier. So we'll see how he gets on.
So there's you versus Anthony. Am I right?
Yeah, me versus Anthony. I mean,
you don't have like regular scissors. You're only dragon resist. So
yeah.
basically.
So I mean, we mentioned it in another game. He didn't Mega Evolve his Zardex in I think his past 2 games or something like that, purely for the fact that there was another dragon on the side. So I've got Mega Ampharos. I actually have answers for both Charizard and Charizard X, just in case. So, but yeah, kind of. I guess looking at his team, Talonflame to his high tier threat tier Pokemon does all to his top half of his team even, which you guys
He
can't see
really don't have any
many answers.
counters
No,
for it. So if he doesn't
no.
prepare well, you might honestly be able to get a 6. So
Yeah, exactly. And also, I guess to kind of pull out some stuff. These aren't guaranteed what I'm going to bring. So Anthony, if you're watching this, I'd prep for everything you possibly can. But Carmine Suicune, I see that kind of putting in a lot of work. Is electric and grass types. What I don't know what phases he has either. But yeah, Sub Carmine Suicune puts in a lot of work. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be a good game, and if Anthony comes out on top, then props to him. But I'm really gunning for this one to bring my season back to life, and not please Marcello by thinking he's going to make playoffs.
yeah, okay. So I guess
Unfortunately, Tom didn't finish the video with us.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. But we are gonna finish now. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed. We'll be back with more content.
Yeah, hope you enjoy, guys. Bye bye.
But
Cool.